My dear students, welcome back to my YouTube English channel, English with Malik sir. In the previous unit, we have discussed very clearly in connection with the adjectives in degrees of comparison and some very key points related to the adjectives in degrees of comparison. In this segment, I am going to focus on the rules for transforming degree of adjectives. It is a very tricky and interesting factor to use adjectives of degrees in our spoken and written English. Therefore, it is very necessary on the part of students to remember the rules for transforming degrees of adjectives. Okay? Yes, let's see how. Point 1. Some commonly used intensifiers. Yes, we have discussed intensifiers means the words which are used to intensify the adjectives side by side the adverbs in order to ornament our language. Intensifiers like very, rather, quite, so, to, how, entirely, completely, fully, wholly, etc. are used to modify the adjectives of positive degree. Yes. Okay. Then see in examples. These apples are very or quite or too tasty. Tasty here adjective, and here we can use very or quite or too to qualify tasty, the adjective. He is too or so or completely or fully tired. Here, tired adjective, we can use intensifiers to qualify the adjective tired. Okay, the patient's condition is rather very critical. Here, critical adjective, and here, rather, very, both are intensifiers qualifying the adjective critical. The mountain is too rocky. Here, too is the intensifier, rocky is the adjective. To climb. In other words, the mountain is so rocky that one cannot climb. How old are you? Old adjective, and here how qualifies old. He is smart enough. Yes, here smart adjective, and enough qualifies the smart, meaning after adjective. Yes, not enough smart. These are the way how we use intensifiers before the adjective of positive degree to ornament our language. Okay. Point 2. Whenever we compare two things or persons, yes, that are equal, we use as plus adjective of positive degree, which is base adjective, plus as. This is the rule. On the other hand, not as or so plus adjective of positive degree plus as to express the negative meaning. Yes, here positive meaning, but here negative meaning. Then how? Let's see. Sarita is smart. Smita is also smart. Here we find two persons of equal rank. Sarita and Smita. Smart, smart. Sarita is as smart. You see, as smart adjective, as Smita, it means Sarita and Smita are equally smart. Rakesh is industrious, in other words, laborious. Rajesh is not industrious like Rakesh. Here we find dissimilarity in between two persons. In this case, we use Rajesh is not as so industrious adjective as Rakesh. It means Rajesh is not as industrious as Rakesh, or we can say Rajesh is not so industrious as Rakesh. Okay. The third point, positive to comparative. Comparative degree expresses the existence of a higher degree of quality as we have already discussed. When two things or persons are compared, okay, to make a comparison between two year or more is added with the adjective of positive degree, than is used to after the adjective of comparative degree. This is a very interesting rule what we have already discussed. Comparative adjectives ending in or like inferior, superior, junior, senior, prior, posterior, anterior, etc. are followed by to. This is also another interesting rule which should be remembered. Okay. Examples: pen is mightier than sword. Here we compare pen and sword, and here mightier is the adjective of comparative degree than. Than is used to compare pen and sword. This car is more expensive than that car. His handwriting is worse than his brother's. It means his brother's handwriting is bad, but his handwriting is worse than his brother's. Means his brother's handwriting. Okay, his painting is inferior to yours. Yes, it means your painting is superior, but his painting is inferior. In this case, than is not used to. In this case, we use to. He is senior to me by 2 years. Here, not than. Okay, these are also very interesting ideas which should be remembered and used at the time of speaking and writing. Number 4, double comparatives are used to express changing situation. Yes, this is also another interesting point. At the time of expressing changing situations which are changing gradually, in that case we use double comparatives. My mother is getting fatter and fatter nowadays. Here we find fatter and fatter. It means nowadays my mother is getting fatter and fatter gradually. Okay, here changing situation, and for this sake we use double comparatives. The boy is doing better and better in his study. It means gradually he is improving in his study. Sarita looks more and more beautiful day by day. It means Sarita's physical appearance becoming more and more beautiful day by day. The sky became darker and darker before the storm. It means storm appeared, but before that the appearance of the sky became darker and darker before the storm. Okay. Point 5. Generally, article the is not used before the adjective of comparative degree. However, if we use two comparative adjectives to compare two situations, the is used before both of them. Yes, the farther is the object, the smaller it looks. Yes, comparatively. Here we find the farther is the object, the smaller it looks. Here we have used two comparative adjectives to compare two similar or parallel situation. Okay, the more we desire, the more we suffer. According to Lord Buddha, desire is the cause of sorrow. The more we desire, the more we suffer. Therefore, we have to control our desire. The higher you go, the cooler you feel. It's very natural. The former was courageous, whereas the latter was cowardly. It means the earlier one and here the latter one. The more we study, the more we learn. If we understand this parallel way of expression, in that case, we use article the before the adjectives of comparative degree at the time of our speaking and writing. These techniques should be remembered and applied while speaking and writing. Okay. Point 6. Comparative to superlative. Yes. Superlative degree denotes the existence of highest degree. As we have discussed, highest degree of quality when more than two things are compared. Okay. Generally, article the is used before adjective of superlative degree and est it is used as a suffix and most is used as a prefix. In this case, preposition in or of is used. In is used with places and of is used with a group of people. This is also very interesting idea. Let's see how any examples. Who is the best player? Here best is the adjective of superlative degree and these here the article. Who is the best player of Indian cricket team? Here we find naturally of is used with Indian cricket team indicating players. My grandfather is the oldest person. We have discussed in earlier classes that the difference between elder and older. Elder is a matter which is related to the closely related, that is very family members. Okay, but my grandfather is the oldest person in our village. In indicating the place, that is village. Lata is the tallest of her four sisters. Here person, that's why of. Subhasmita is the most intelligent of all the girls, of indicating the group of girls in her class. These are the very interesting examples in connection with the use of superlative degree. Point 7. When positive degree begins with no other, superlative takes the or one of the for comparison among many. No other girl is as tall as Sarita. Here, no other has been used before girl, tall, adjective of positive degree, but here adjective of superlative degree. Sarita is the tallest girl is equal to no other girl is as tall as Sarita. Last point of this unit. When positive degree begins with very few, the superlative takes one of them. Here, in example, we find very few boys are as good as Somesh is equal to Somesh is one of the best boys. It means there are number of best boys, but Somesh is one of them. My dear students, these are very interesting and tricky ideas which are very frequently used in our spoken and written English. Therefore, it is very necessary on your part to remember these important guidelines, or we may say the key ideas or tricks, so that our spoken and written English will be comfortable and we can express our feelings comfortably. Hope you must have enjoyed this unit. I advise you to go through the video from the beginning to the end so that you can understand it and remember it. Try to take down some notes and use it in your day-to-day spoken and written English. Then only you can get the benefit. Okay? Thank you for being with me. See you in the next unit. Till then, goodbye.